Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of This Is My Bourbon Podcast. It's episode 250. I'm your host, Perry. I've been with you every single daggum episode since the beginning, but with me now is my current co-host. Is that what I should call you?
Just call me the co-host.
You're just the co-host. It's Eric, the Whiskey Mutant Smith.
It may be 250, but you know what kind of season it is?
Somebody definitely crashed their car to that.
I hope so. Not really.
It is October 2nd.
Only if they were recycling their car. Sorry.
October 2nd as of recording. I'm so happy we're in spooky season, dude.
Oh my God.
I can't believe
Favorite
it.
Season.
I just, it's like the stars are all aligning. And I'm feeling just really good about everything.
You're happy, and then you're scared, and then you're wondering what that person's putting out on the yard. Is that a real skeleton?
I thought maybe somebody was behind me.
There is.
You looked off into... Don't do that.
I mean, it's true, but...
Okay, well...
pain is pain!
Hey, if today's the day I go, then what better way? At least we got episode 250 recorded.
If I go, I want to go in the most hardcore horror movie slasher style ever. I just want like blood and guts everywhere, and I'd make it dramatic, like just like look at the camera that's always watching me, even though I'm not on a movie or something.
Okay,
and I'm just like, I get ready to say the last thing to help the people who are still surviving, then I just die.
Right. Oh, okay. Just a quick pass.
No, I'd played it up for a while.
Oh, okay, gotcha. You held on.
Yeah.
Well, we've definitely held on for 250 episodes.
Maybe just hold on.
This is going to be less of like a newsy kind of episode and more just like reflecting on things. But I want to take episode. Well, we're also coming up on the 5-year anniversary of the podcast, so I want to take that episode whenever that happens. In a few weeks, and use that as kind of more of a, I don't know, like just a full on like the biggest episode we've ever done, kind of thing. So we'll get there, but this week is a very special Sips and Snacks.
We're laying this to bed.
This is the final time that we are going to talk about this, but we have spent the past few weeks talking about the McGriddle.
Yes. And how you should have it.
And how you should actually eat it. And I am of the persuasion that cheese belongs on it. Eric does not agree with me. I asked my wife about this the other night. She said that I was also wrong. But here's the thing. I have heard so much positive feedback about my viewpoint.
Yeah, those are questionable people, though.
Yeah, well.
But the thing is, my argument is cheese should not be on a sweeter breakfast thing like pancakes. Now, we've said this before. Joseph Brazo pointed out that, yes, it's an artificially flavored pancake patty thing that goes instead of a biscuit. Yeah, if you don't know what a McGriddle is, it's basically a McDonald's breakfast sandwich, but instead of a biscuit or a bagel or the English muffin, they use little pancakes that have like some syrupy stuff in it.
Yeah, they're syrup crystals.
Crystals.
The way that they describe it. Yes.
Yes.
So you just straight up don't like these.
I straight up do not like the cheese. I love egg and sausage and pancakes. I can eat them together. I can make a sandwich out of them. I love bacon, all that stuff. I don't like the cheese. I think the cheese is just not meant to be on the pancake.
Okay, so you have brought us some actual McGriddles from McDonald's.
Yes.
Some with cheese, some without?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me what you've done here.
First, I want you to tell everybody what you've done.
We'll get to it in just a second.
Oh my God.
No, I want to.
Okay, well,
I want us to try the OG before we get to anything else.
The main thing was the sausage and egg and cheese McGriddle.
Right.
So I've got one with cheese, one without, and then I brought a little extra in here because I was like, you know what? Maybe I would like the bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddle.
Right.
And so I've got that with cheese and without. So I figured we would cut some. I mean, we don't want to poop on ourselves here.
Well, no.
So we'll cut some little slices off and we'll have it. We'll review it. And I thought we would pair it.
Well, I've got a pairing too.
Well, you fucking know I do. I got
You got a knife?
Yeah, look at that.
Okay, well, you could have used my Swiss Army that my grandfather left me, but it's fine.
Your grandfather doesn't want your Swiss Army knife to be used to cut McDonald's right now.
You don't know what my grandfather was about.
McDonald's?
Not really.
Oh.
He was more of a Wendy's man.
Oh, he's like, you better not be cutting that McDonald's.
Now, this is not to say that McDonald's has the superior breakfast.
Oh my God, it just looks so bad.
I'm so excited to have one of these. It's been so long.
It just...
Okay, that one in particular doesn't look great.
I mean, I'm just telling you what. I went to McDonald's. I got the McGriddle.
Yeah, I mean, it's not your fault.
It is my fault.
What, that you got it?
No. Yes, that is my fault. That I agreed to this.
Well, fair enough.
All right, so here is the OG, the one that you order straight off the thing without making any customization, because the other one you had to customize.
And the good thing about the video version of this podcast too is that you have a visual element. So there's the cross section.
So how are we going to do this? We're just going to take one bite, talk about it. Are we going to pair it afterwards?
We'll pair it. We'll pair it afterwards.
Okay,
let's go ahead. Oh,
that cheese, man,
dude, I love that so much.
That cheese is not good.
That is so good.
There's just this, like, okay, the bottom side, it's not bad. It's like a McDonald's pancake that's had some syrup in it. This, on the other hand, I can't. I don't like that. I don't like that cheese.
Isolated, it is a little weird.
Yeah, when you take it by itself, which, that's not answering the question, is it with good without cheese? Because you're not going to normally do that. If you ate a pancake with that cheese on it, you would not look at your face.
It's not good. It's not good on its own. There's something about the combination of it all.
I think the rest of the stuff helps hide that really strong cheese on there,
and it's just like American cheese too. I mean, it's not. It's not a Roquefort or a
what? Roku?
Yeah, Roku.
Roku, play Supersize Me. All right, this is no cheese, just straight up.
Yeah. So tell me about your ordering process for this. Did you have to go? Did you order everything ahead of time on the app, or
yes.
did you? Okay, because I couldn't imagine having to sit there and explain to.
I ordered all on the app, and on the app you can do customize, and I just said no cheese.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So here we are. Cheese. No cheese.
I can do this. It's very plain.
I think that's my issue.
But I would rather have plain than weird. That was a crazy bite. All up in that. I can do this.
Sorry.
I can finish this.
I need the cheese with it.
Why? What does that cheese
add
to it?
It gives that extra little bite to it.
Like this sour bite?
Kinda. But okay. I like sour cream. I think if you're treating it like that. I like it
on tacos. Not on a biscuit. Or a breakfast sandwich.
I think as a whole, without cheese, it is really just more bland.
Yeah.
And with cheese, it just has that little punch to it.
That little bite.
That little extra bite. And I think that's why...
little kick in the nuts of your taste buds.
It's not a...
That's what it is.
It's not, but okay.
To me, it kicks my taste bud balls and it makes me feel bad.
So do you want to go ahead and do what I did?
Yes, because
since it's a one to one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
I'm going to say what happened.
You explain.
So I thought that there was a way to elevate the McGriddle. And so I actually made a homemade McGriddle with cheese.
He was cooking it when I walked in today.
Sausage, egg, and cheese. The pancake batter has bourbon barrel-aged maple syrup infused in it.
Okay.
The eggs, I used some spices in it.
All right, Bobby Flay.
Very, very, limited, though. I mean, it was salt, pepper, and garlic. However, I did shave Gouda, smoked Gouda, into the egg itself.
All right.
Just a regular sausage. Just a regular sausage patty. And then white American cheese on the bottom of the bun. And I flamed it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to just...
You want to... Okay.
I wanted to see if...
I'm already more intrigued about this than in the McDonald's.
I just wanted to see if, this was a more approachable take. Because the white American is, first and foremost, a softer cheese.
Very soft. It's basically fake.
It's creamier, though.
Mm-hmm.
And by, just putting the maple syrup into the pancake batter, I gave it that opportunity to not be as in your face,
right,
as the granulated sugar that comes from the maple syrup that's actually crystals. In the So I have not tried this yet.
No,
I mean, Eric and I are trying this together for the first time.
Cheers!
Cheers! Dink it and sink it, I guess.
Okay.
It's so much more subtle. The cheese
I'm not tasting that overwhelming cheese. The pancake patty is hands down where it's at. What kind of cheese was this? Gouda?
White American cheese on the bottom of the sandwich.
Right.
And then I shaved smoked Gouda into the eggs.
I could do this one.
That's really good. It's saltier. But I think that might just be...
I don't know. Now when I'm thinking about the McDonald's one, I don't know if it's the cheese or the patty.
The sausage patty?
No, I mean the... What's the sandwich part of it?
The bread.
The bread.
Yeah, the pancake portion.
Maybe if the pancake portion of the McGriddle, the McDonald's McGriddle, wasn't so artificially flavored, maybe I would not taste the cheese as much. Mm-hmm. This thing, though.
No, the pancakes...
Fucking dip this thing in a...
The pancakes on their own are absolute hitters.
So I think the problem... maybe I'm eating my words here. Maybe it's not so much the cheese on the pancake as it's just the whole combination. It's just, I think it's everything. I think it's just everything together is just not good. McDonald's McGriddles are just not good.
It's just so much more bland. And I'm not going to go out of my way all the time that I want to McGriddle to make one at home. Because it took a while.
Yeah.
But I think, if I have the time, I'm probably just going to make one myself.
So much better.
It's so much better.
And the smart move on the, what was it, the bourbon infused?
Yeah. Woodinville bourbon infused maple syrup.
Interesting.
So we are going to be pairing the homemade McGriddle with some Woodinville cast strength.
Well, I'm going to pair... Do you have any of the McDonald's one left?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pair the McDonald's one because I think I could make it better with Starlight bourbon finished in honey.
Oh, okay.
I think it needs less maple more of something else, or less syrupy, more of that. So
okay.
Oh, that smells so good.
This was a Liquor Barn pick.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Maple?
No. Like the bourbon itself was just an unfinished cast strength bourbon.
Okay. In my head, I was like, a finished maple. I was like, is that even a thing? Joseph Brazo will be getting a boner over that.
I mean, we've got Nulu maple finish, which I can't believe neither of us thought of until
I
this
did,
second.
but I was trying to go less maple, more of something else.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here.
Whoa!
Soak that pancake in this. That's where it's at.
I will say the pour over didn't really do a whole lot, other than just kind of like exacerbating the saltiness.
I don't know. I think the pour over with it like exploding out of the pancake is amazing.
Oh.
And that cheese is so subtle. That's the key right there. I don't want to be overwhelmed by cheese.
Yeah.
I want just I can handle a little bit. It's just like a little bit extra spice on there. McDonald's cheese is just melted all over it, and it's just gooba gaba. It's just all over the place. That's so much better. Hats off to you. You did it.
Thank you.
I like that.
I'm really happy with that. I've always had this thing of like, I want to try to hack fast food.
Yeah.
Food. So I just see if I could make it even slightly better. And I'm not really a cook or a chef, I guess. But
You're at home chef.
I'm an at-home chef. That's why this episode is brought to you. No, I'm just kidding.
Postmates. All right, McDonald's. This is the one with the cheese. I'm going all out on the pairing with honey finished Starlight.
Interesting.
Maybe a little bit of sweetness takes away from the cheese.
I don't know if I like that.
Sucks.
I don't think it's your fault. I think it's just this sandwich.
Non-cheese version.
You know, I think it is mostly pouring bourbon over eggs. Not a good idea.
I think the non-cheese version pairing is way better than the cheese.
I think so too.
It makes sense.
Yeah. I still prefer mine.
Yeah, if I'm going to do any of this, it's going to be the homemade version with this cheese or whatever cheese you prefer. I think it's the cheese. I think it's the McDonald's cheese.
I think so too. But
will I eat cheese and pancakes? No, fuck no. I'm not going to eat that. But if you make me a sandwich and put it all together, I can handle this. It's a good pancake. It's a different cheese. All around better product.
Yeah, I just have to go with the homemade one. But I think it gets down to how seasoned everything is as well. We'll talk bourbon eventually.
Yeah. We'll do little bites of this one.
Yeah, that's fine. Because I think we need to start ramping things up into the main episode, I suppose.
Well, what have you been drinking?
Well, I got to tell people where they can follow us first.
Where can people follow us?
Well, if you would like to follow us on the show or Eric on his own, you can do so either at My Bourbon Pod or at Whiskey Mutant, mainly on Instagram.
Yeah.
But
TikTok every once in a while.
we both got Twitters.
Yeah, I got a little Twitter.
Little Twitter. You can also support the show at patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month. For as little as $5 a month, you get a bunch of bonus content, including the pregame chats. And as we're switching back and forth between either Pours from the Floor, where we're clearing out some bottles that Eric's wife is mad about being on the floor in the basement.
Over them and stuff. It's a whole thing.
And Sampling Irresistible, which is me trying to clear out some of the samples that that I have amassed, I suppose, over the past few years. But if you have questions or
50 episodes worth.
Yeah. If you have questions or comments, though, you can send them to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. You can find all of our apparel and merchandise at bourbonshop.threadless.com. And I think that's about it. Right?
I think so.
What have you been drinking recently?
Well, I've been working a lot. Had a lot of stuff going on. But I did have some Russell's 10-year 90 proof, in which I did a pairing for our friend Matt, ADHD Whiskey. He wanted me to pair his favorite protein bar. So if you go to my Instagram, you can see that. And every time I go back to Russell's 10, like the 90 proof, non-single barrel, I'm just like, this is one of those things that if I had to only drink one thing, it may be one of those. Like, the price is good. Flavor's amazing. Nose is good. It gives you a little bit of funk, a little bit of oak.
Did you say single barrel?
No, I said not the single barrel.
Okay, sorry. My brain did a couple backflips there trying to figure out what
Russell's
was going on.
90 proof non-single barrel.
Yeah, thank you.
It's just an all-around great product. And it's like, you can get it around here at Kroger
for like $25.
For like $25.
Yeah.
Insane.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Love it so much.
Do you want to try something that I've been drinking recently?
Yeah. The bacon McGriddle, not great.
Nah.
Not great at all.
Yeah.
I don't even want to try the one without cheese. What are you doing?
Just
What is
trust me.
this? Ooh, that smells so good. That smells orangey.
Well,
Aren't you glad I didn't say bananas?
so we are going to be interviewing these guys in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
But I wanted to give you a preview.
You know,
this,
I don't like
bottle.
trailers, though. I don't like spoilers.
Well,
I can do a teaser.
you could.
I'm just...
This is Sunday's finest gold fashioned.
Gold fashion.
Created by Robert Haynes out of Chicago.
Okay.
It is made with 15-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, 9-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, a 6-year-old straight rye whiskey, and saffron bitters, as well as a whole host of other. I didn't bring the box out here with me. One of 3,000 bottles.
What?
Tell me that is not the best old fashioned you have ever had in your entire life.
So, did you mix that?
No.
What was
It was
the
sent-
little
it
things?
was sent this way.
What's the little things?
Yeah. So this is an orange zest.
Okay. Oh, that's just the zest.
Yeah.
There.
So it's basically just like expressing
Yeah.
an orange peel.
Like if you put it around the rim
Yeah.
stuff like that.
But they say to spritz once. Oh, the wasp is back.
I'll kill you, motherfucker.
But you spritz it once. And they say, I've tried this a couple times now, but they say to pour it first and then spritz it. I like spritzing it first.
That smells so good.
Yeah. So this has been
But
featured.
other than that, you just poured it in there.
Other than that, it was just ready to
Oh
go.
my God.
Yeah. I know, dude.
Oh my.
Last year was their inaugural batch. It sold out almost immediately. They sent us a whole daggone bottle
Let me see that.
just to review. And we'll do so when we actually get to the that episode with them
Oh my.
in a couple
Lord.
weeks' time.
It's over 80 proof, dude.
It is over 80 proof. It's 86.8, right?
42.2%. So
86 point.
84.
Wait, no, 84.4.
84.4.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry. Math is hard.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, that's a surprise.
Yeah. That was my surprise for you.
Well,
This
I like
episode.
that surprise.
I've also been drinking on a couple of different bottles. We drank on it in the pregame chats, but a Weller 12 that I finally got another bottle of. And then also we're gonna taste it here in just a bit. But the Kentucky Bourbon Festival Knob Creek pick.
Ooh.
It's incredible.
Okay.
It's out of this world. Incredible.
Well, I also have a surprise for you.
Okay.
Are we reviewing anything?
We can. Do you have something that we could review?
Well, I have the.
Sorry, I'm still like holding on to this bottle like it's my child.
So I know. We're gonna reflect a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know I have the 7-year Pinhook bourbon, which we could review. But I also, as a thank you to everybody who listens, because full disclosure, I know that a lot of people who listen to this also love things other than bourbon. And I'm always, I don't fucking care about Scotch and single malt and blah, blah, blah. And I know people are like, he needs to drink some Scotch and stuff like that. I was looking through my stuff, and in a box...
I don't know where this is going.
In a box sent to me a while back from our friend Jason Newman, Jason and Natalie, with my snacks, there was some samples in there. And Jason knows I do not like Scotch. And he sent me a sample of, I don't know anything about this, but it sounds like it's special. Okay. Octomore. I know it's Scotch. I don't know anything else about it. So I was like, what if I know Perry's going to enjoy it because he drinks other stuff, but what if I did a review, a serious review of Octomore?
Here's the thing. That has to be the very last thing that we do. Okay. Because it is so peaty.
I said I don't know nothing about it.
It's smoky.
Okay.
It is going to ruin your palate for anything else.
Okay. Well,
so I didn't know anything about this.
I told you I was surprised.
You told me you had a surprise, but I didn't know that it was going to be Octomore, which is like, have you smelled this at all?
No, I don't know anything about it. It's a sample.
Just give yourself a little whiff.
Octomore 8.2.
Dude. Oh, 116.8 proof.
So that's why I was like, I don't know what we're doing, if that's something that we should do, or if there's another review, or like what. So
this is like trial by fire.
I'm going to wait.
Okay. All right.
But if we want to review something else, obviously we need to do it before it. Or we just go into that.
I think we just review that.
Okay.
I want to sip on the Pinhook.
Okay.
But I love you. I love you dearly. I'm sorry for what you're about to experience.
Well, I just feel like I'm always going to stand my ground that I'm like bourbon, rye, some, light whiskey or whatever, but like I'm not going to start getting into Scotch. I'm not going to get into single malts, all that stuff. But I know that a lot of people who listen want to hear that, and I'm sure that they are like, I want to see him fucking go down with some Scotch.
As soon as you started saying that there was a Scotch involved, my brain went, oh, it's Octomore.
Yeah, Jason sent this to me, and it's been sitting in with all my samples for a while, and I was like, well, I guess I could do that as a thank you to everybody who listens and enjoys other spirits other than just bourbon, which I do not. Maybe next time I'll do a Texas whiskey. Who knows?
So for episode 200, you had friends of the show send voice messages. And for episode 250, you're putting yourself through pain and terror.
Yeah, because I appreciate everybody who listens, and I appreciate you.
This is wonderful.
So
this is absolutely wonderful.
Here we go.
Yeah, we're not really doing any news this week. I wanted this to kind of be like, because we're going to do a more like traditional, I guess, TIMBP episode for the 5-year anniversary.
Yeah.
But I also I have some ideas for it too. But this week is just going to be us kind of like enjoying some of our favorite bottles that we've gotten to review over the past 250 episodes. And like I said earlier, like initially I wanted to include Weller 12 in this, even though, I think if I remember correctly, the Antique 107 actually scored higher than the 12 did. But it's been a very fun, long road to get to 250, man. And I'm
just happy that I'm at a point to where I'm closer to 100 episodes being on here than I am to 50. I'm over the 50 mark. Yeah. I'm in the 70s somewhere, I think.
I think you are too, and I think one of my not biggest regrets with the show, but just kind of like something that I wish I had been able to hold on to more is consistency with co-hosts. Like, it's not that I don't love you being here, but I know that it is such an adjustment for listeners where they have to get used to somebody new.
Yeah.
And, Swan was my co-host for a long time. Before that, it was Swan and Curtis. And before that, it was Swan and Tanner. Or, excuse me, Curtis and Tanner. And it just has been this kind of, like, rolling evolution of, like, who's going to be sitting down with me while I do these episodes. And one thing I will say about this too is that it speaks volumes to the people who listen to the show, mm-hmm. that you are willing to, the audience, accept new people to be on the other microphone from time to time.
Oh,
and here's the bigger thing outside of like the changes is that Eric's not going anywhere anytime soon. I mean, I would be shocked if like one day you sent me or you called me and you're like, we need to talk. We're moving to,
I got my mortgage. You've seen the,
but you know what I mean though, is like
no, my grounds are set. And that's my roots are set now.
Like that almost sounds like it's a criticism of Swan or Curtis. It's not. It's just that, I set out to do this podcast initially with people who were kind of in the same initial, like, did you kill him?
Hit him.
He's going to be angry.
Well, fuck him up next time.
Sorry, Harold. But we were all kind of in the same point in our lives where things were, and looking back on it, of course, it's 2020. But I didn't anticipate things shifting so quickly that I had to find new co-hosts.
Well,
or that people would even be moving away or, shifting what they were doing with their life outside of This Is My Bourbon Podcast.
I'm older than everybody.
Yeah.
So I have Swan.
You and I are in much more similar places in our lives than any of the other three co-hosts ever were. And I mean, like, I should have recognized that. And this isn't like either me going, oh, I should have done things differently. No. It's just not, that's just not how it is. I think
that was just a natural evolution of the show.
Yeah. I've grown more patient with people, I would say.
And Swan needs to, like, he's, different job opportunities and stuff. Like, he's, like, ready to, like, do his thing and all that. Everybody else is doing their thing. Like, yeah, it just so happens that I'm kind of set. My kids are in their schools. We're not taking them out of that. My job, I'm not changing jobs anytime soon. I have a mortgage and all this stuff. So, like, it gives me, like, this is my once a week little therapy.
Yeah.
To do what I can. And, yeah, right now, like, I ain't going nowhere.
I'm glad.
I'm surrounded by biscuits and pancakes and sausages and bacon and bourbon.
I'm that, like, that cliche almost of like, I wouldn't have changed anything because the road that I took led me to you. Like, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's genuinely how I feel.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't have changed anything about the way that the podcast happened over the past 5 years, over the past 249 episodes.
Right.
Because I wanted to have people that I could rely on and people I could sit down with and everything on a regular basis and be like, I feel like I'm putting my foot in my mouth, and I'm truly not trying to. I think
everybody listening understands whether you say it the right way. The co-hosts understand, the listeners understand. It's just a natural evolution, and you're here, and you don't ever want to you make a co-host feel like they can't go out and do their own thing. You know what I mean? Like.
But I want you to do your own thing.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like that. No, that's what I mean. Like you're never like you're the co-host. You're not going anywhere and doing anything like that.
But I want you to be a guest on other podcasts. I want you to go and like even kind of selfishly, I'm like, I want you to go and tell other people about TIMBP and.
But I'm not about to like take my whole family and move to another state or anything like that.
And I think that, if you go back and listen to the past 75 episodes, I think there is a comfort that I have had that I didn't have before. And part of it is you and I are very similar people in very similar points in our lives. But it does get down to we know that we can just kind of rely on each other.
Yeah.
And it's helped me just feel excited about what the podcast is doing.
Yeah.
About what we're doing with the overall trajectory of the brand.
Right.
I guess. And I keep like saying I'm going to be doing this soon. And I mean, I am, but like I want to find ways to expand what TIMBP is. Like I really need to get, like sit, and it's just a matter of me having the time and energy to actually do it, but like sit down and, create the website for the show and incorporate a new
just
shop.
Make a movie
into it. You want to make a movie?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Why not? I'll add that to.
Ryan Reynolds is playing me.
Okay.
All right.
And Hugh Jackman is playing me.
I hope so. Who's going to play Swan?
Michael Cera.
Yes.
I think somebody asked that.
I think there was a question.
A long time. Was that when you were actually on the show?
I think so. I think
feel
that
like
was,
it was.
All three of us were on here.
Yeah.
Something came up.
And somebody asked us, like, who would be the perfect casting for the TIMBP movie. And
I'm pretty sure I was like Tom Cruise, Ryan Reynolds.
My answer, just because
Tom Hardy.
Because he and I looked like we looked
Bell.
so.
I think mine were all those.
All right,
together.
I'll just shut up over here.
I'm just playing.
But like, he and I have looked. We used to look really, really similar. But Andrew Garfield, was my pick for somebody to play me in the movie of my life.
Yeah, I remember that.
Running like crazy.
That sausage. That spicy sausage.
It's not even that spicy.
It's still sausage. Spicy.
Before we move on to the next pour, this old fashioned.
Yeah.
Do you want me to send you home with like 2 ounces for April?
Yeah.
Because I feel like it would blow her mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way that she likes to drink.
Yeah, she likes old fashions, and she likes a Manhattan every once in a while and stuff, but mainly old fashioned. She likes to smell bourbon. She loves to smell it.
Dude, it's just so good.
It's really good.
It shouldn't be as good as it is, but
no.
I think ubiquitously, this has just been one of my favorite overall bottles that we've kind of come upon since the inception of the show. But this one in particular, I just absolutely loved. But the Kentucky Bourbon Festival 22 Knob Creek single barrel. I cracked this open last night, and some people got a hold of it.
I see that. And so this is not the same like run of like Bourbon and Beyond and stuff, because
nope.
I had some of the Knob Creek Bourbon and Beyond at Louder Than Life.
No, this is the Kentucky Bourbon Festival.
Yeah.
Distillers Row series.
It smells like peanut M&Ms.
I don't know if it still is, but I got it off of Bourbon Outfitters.
Peanut M&Ms. That smells amazing.
Oh, that tastes so good.
Oh, it's a Snickers bar, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's the peanut and the chocolate, but then there's like some caramel. Almost like a nougat, like a Snickers and a Three Musketeers together. That's so good. Is that 10 years old? Almost?
No, it's
right on the cusp?
It's just over 9. Oh wait, no, it's like 9.5. Barreled 10-10-12. Selected 5-17-22.
Nice.
So almost 10 years old. It's funny too. The more I learned about my palate, and the more that my palate evolved over the past few years, I wasn't really ready for like how much I love high proof bourbon. But that's just like my go-to now.
Yeah.
I just want the high proof stuff, man.
Knob Creek, and I mean, I've said it before, if I do a blend or something that I know Perry's going to like, it's going to have Rare Breed, Knob Creek, or Elijah Craig Barrel Proof in it.
Or all three. Which has happened many times.
Yes.
For sure. I asked you this a few weeks ago, and I kind of want to like rephrase it a little bit, but you were a listener of TIMBP before you joined.
I was
on and everything. I don't even know like the way that I want to phrase this, but it's essentially like, has your view of the way that this show is made, or podcasts in general are made, shifted since you joined? And like, if so, what's been the thing that you've noticed the most that you might not have noticed before?
I think as someone who listens to several podcasts, different types, over different subjects, I think the show has evolved with the way vlogging and YouTubing and podcasting has went. I think it's gone from a point to where it's a singular subject. Here's bourbon. Here's a review. Those early times, pun intended, of the podcast were mainly bourbon centered. And then, I think when it kind of went from, when Curtis was still on a little bit, and then you and Swan, it started, my favorite parts, I always say, were tips and bits, because you got to start talking about Pokemon. You got to start talking about, movies and stuff like that. And I think that's kind of like how a lot of podcasts and stuff are. Like, the ones that you stay interested in have a variety of things.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, I skip over stuff that's just here's a review, and that's all we're doing in the episode. Like, okay, if I want to hear a review, I'll listen to it or whatever. But I'm more excited when I hear things that are added with bourbon. My whole thing is, what are you drinking while you're watching this or while you're eating this? And I think it went from just a bourbon podcast to mainly a bourbon podcast, but here's a little bit of extra. Here's a little bit of what we do when we're not, just talking about bourbon. We're not always 24/7 having to talk about a release or a review or something like that. So yeah, I think it's evolved to something that is more welcoming to other people. You could just love movies or podcasts or, video games, and you would have something in this, whereas if you just drink bourbon, you get that, and then you may tune out after that. Or if you don't drink bourbon, you get a chance to listen to what these guys think about this movie or something.
It's been suggested to me that the name of the show almost doesn't reflect exactly what things are with it now.
Oh, yeah.
And that maybe we should rebrand it to like the Bourbon and Stuff podcast but I don't know. I don't feel like that's.
I don't think that's a necessary thing.
No, I mean, like, I love the. I love the like this is my bourbon podcast
it's
sting that I do at the end of.
Well, this is my bourbon podcast, and when you listen, like somebody will tell you if they're a fan of it. Hey, buddy, hey, do you like this and this? You should listen to my bourbon podcast. Like this is the podcast I listen to. Yeah. I don't think it needs to be rebranded. I think it's just this is my bourbon podcast because it's bourbon and pop culture. You don't have to say this is my bourbon and pop culture podcast.
Yeah.
But when people are listening and looking for a podcast and, they find it, this is their bourbon podcast. This is the one they listen to. Why? Well, listen and find out. Well,
this is my bourbon podcast. So.
Yeah. So...
this show is always going to be TIMBP.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just part of it. But I don't know. I feel like I came in with a bunch of things to say, and now I'm like stumbling over most of my words. But
I think the people listening they've listened for so long. Even newer listeners, they know what you're trying to say. They know what this means to you. They know what it means to them.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. So.
And this is my bourbon podcast,
and it always will be.
And like I can't even do that thing of like, and I think it's even in like the Patreon description or whatever, where it's like this may be my bourbon podcast, but it's our bourbon podcast because you're here with me. Like, you know what I mean? Like I can't.
No, this is my bourbon podcast to everybody listening, everybody on the show. This is my bourbon podcast.
Yeah.
It makes me feel awesome because I can say this is my bourbon podcast.
Yeah.
I don't own it. I didn't create it. It's still mine.
You're still a part of it.
I'm not going to let anybody take it from me.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
No.
Fight them if they try to.
If somebody sits over there and you're like, this is going to be the next co-host, I'll fight them. And if you want to do a podcast fight club, then that's how you do it there.
Talking about that too, like, what was I going to say?
I will fight somebody.
I lost my train of thought there very quickly. That's just never, ever, ever going to happen. I mean, I'm never going to, like, surprise you with...
Surprise! Look at this guy.
Somebody new.
We brought in Neil.
Hello, Neil.
Hi, guys.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name's Neil.
Did you know that bourbon is not just from Kentucky?
All the bourbon is...
Fuck you, Neil!
All bourbon is whiskey, but not all whiskey is bourbon. That's his one thing that he says every single week.
He's a remember, guys. Yeah. But then eventually, like 20 episodes in, we're like, all right, we're okay with Neil.
Yeah, he's okay. Neil's all right.
Neil's all right.
No, you're my huckleberry.
You're my sweet cheese.
My sweet cheese. My good time boy. I don't know really what else to say. I'm so happy to be at this point, not just with the podcast, but in my life, as well.
Yeah, doing good stuff, man.
I'm very fortunate to have the community that I do, the support system that I do, the people who wake up and want to be a part of my life, which I think is something that we don't like say enough.
Yeah,
that people decide to be a part of what you do and who you are.
Yeah,
and that's very, very important. I love TIMBP, man.
TIMBP, baby.
I love This Is My Bourbon Podcast. It's so it's so much a part of me.
Yeah.
Now, and we joked about it not too long ago, but I mean, if we can be in a nursing home together, still doing this show,
nursing home podcast,
I'll be more than happy.
We just repeat the same episode every week because we
Dude,
forgot
I fully believe that would happen. But I also believe that we would sit there with the microphones and I would just forget to edit it and put it out.
Yeah. I'm down for it. Be like, hey, will you change me?
Not going to do that.
Instead of me running to pee and stopping the episode, just like, will you change me?
All right. Lay down.
It just keeps going. You never stop. It's the longest running live podcast. It never stops.
Because we forgot to hit.
Yeah. You just come back and we start talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang it, I forgot to hit stop again.
They've talked about the same bourbon for the past 3 weeks.
Pop me some of that Pinhook, by the way. I got to know.
Pop me, baby.
Pop me, daddy.
So this is the 7-year vertical, the Bourbon War. So if you've been following along with Pinhook, they put this out every year, and we went from 4 to 5 to 6, and now we're at 7. 115 proof, I believe. Color on it's so good.
Ross and Squib juice.
I was going to say...
I like what I said.
Yeah, gotcha.
What? What, did I say something wrong?
I'm gonna leave that one to you. The juice from Ross and Squib.
Ah! Harold! You scared me.
Fucking Harold.
He's an active son of a gun. It's the most high intensity, high adrenaline episode we've ever done because there's a wasp.
There's a wasp.
Our new pet wasp flying around
I'm gonna kill.
in the studio. Just leave him be.
If he get...
What is the environmental impact of a wasp as opposed to a bee? Like, because bees actually serve some kind of purpose, right?
They're hunters.
Wasps?
I guess they're mean.
I don't know.
They're just mean. They're mean boys.
It smells like perfume.
Think so? Like For Rosie? I like it.
I don't hate the nose.
I like that.
Ooh.
Graham crackery. Chocolatey.
It's very s'moresy.
S'mores, yeah.
Oh, man. It's a little bacony, too.
A little savory at the
end. A little
end.
savory at the end, yeah. I got to be honest with you. I don't think I can eat another McGriddle right now.
Out.
I'm McGriddled out for a little while. I also meant to say this up top. Because we did kind of have a little bit of food waste, it hit me. I was like, I don't know. Made me uncomfortable. But anyway, I'm going to be donating a little bit of money to the Lexington Food Bank, our God's Pantry.
Yeah.
Not just because we're sitting here wasting food, but also because may as well do something a little special.
Might as well.
For this the special episode.
Yeah.
So $100 to Lexington's Food Pantry.
Good job, Charlie Brown.
Got to do what you can when you can.
That's right.
Oh, I like that.
It's pretty good, right?
I like that a lot.
Yeah. I like it.
You ready?
My God.
Are you ready?
Oh, $250, baby. All for you. For Perry, for the listeners, for Patreon, for everybody who says I ruin whiskey. Clean glass.
Who says that?
Every other Instagram message I get. Speaking of Instagram, if you listen to our friends' dads drinking bourbon, will you please send them a direct message and ask for Zeke to take over the Instagram for a little bit? Please, just do this for me. John needs a break, okay? Zeke needs to be in control of Instagram just for a month.
He needs some downtime.
Yeah, just for a little bit. Just send him a message, and you can say, hey, Eric and Barry said this.
It's mostly Eric. But
you can say, just Eric said this. And I'm perfectly fine with that. Hey, Whiskey Mutant said that Zeke needs to take over, so that's all I have to say about that.
Oh, dude, I cannot believe that you are about to drink Octomore.
I don't know anything about this.
Woo!
What's... Oh, my God. I don't even get my nose close to it. It smells like my grandpa's, like, boot cleaner.
Dude, like, it is sitting a solid 10 inches away from my face.
Oh. It's like bacon and boot cleaner. Is this a thing that people actually like enjoy?
Thing that people enjoy and like, and
I'm more amazed at the fact that I can do this. I don't have to get it. I can get it like, and I start to smell it.
You have to like waft it.
Oh God. How are you putting your nose in it that far?
I like it. I like it, dude. Oh. I like this nose a lot.
A little bit of peanuts. And varnish. And I'm being 100% serious. Like, I'm just telling you stuff that it's so like bacon bits.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a lot of like peppered bacon.
Bacon bits.
Smoked peppered bacon.
Like this. Yeah, this is.
I get a lot of fruit on this too.
Fruit?
Yeah.
Where?
It's like stone fruit.
Stoned, maybe.
Stoned fruit.
Oh, yeah. It's bacon
my favorite
bits.
jam band.
I feel like I'm putting my nose in a thing of bacon bits. Oh, God.
I will say, I think the palate is not as aggressive as the nose is.
It's not aggressive. It's something. It's still
You don't like it?
No.
I like it.
It's like bacon bits. Still, like, I can't get over the bacon bits. But have you ever smelled like broccoli that somebody's cooking and it's kind of like sour? Like a weird broccoli. Yeah. Like,
you know what I get a lot of this, especially on the nose, is like fresh black tar.
Oh yeah. Oh, like right on the car. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're driving. Oh.
He shot that. We have to review this. You see what I mean, though, that this would ruin your palate otherwise?
I mean, there's no way for the rest of the day I probably can't taste anything. Oh, there's pepper and smoke. And when you said tar, oh my gosh, I'm tasting the road right now.
It does have a pavement smell to it, for
tasting,
sure.
Like, I'm smelling everything I'm tasting, and it's...
You want to know the okay?
How do this?
I have a very specific area of Lexington.
There's no way somebody could come home and be like, "Yeah, I'm going to have me a big pour of Octomore." Like, what the fuck?
116.8 proof as well.
Oh my! Bacon bits, cement or tar, black tar. And broccoli.
I think there's a little bit of like cinnamon raisin toast in there too.
I can't find anything else. I can't. But
I like this.
You've had more of this stuff than I have.
Yeah, not by a whole lot though.
But still, and I think your palate's a little bit, it can expand a little bit more than mine. I'm just like, I'm licking fresh tar,
fresh pavement
after I just had some burnt broccoli.
Tell me there's not a little bit of mintiness in there, though.
No.
Oh, well, you're wrong.
It's bacon bits. I heard that. Oh, you're wrong. I heard that. Oh, it's bacon bits. It's like artificial bacon. Oh, God. All right.
I bet it pairs well with a McGriddle.
I can't do a McGriddle right now. I can't.
Oh, man. Well, nose, palate, finish, and price, shall we?
How do I even rate this?
Well, rate it honestly, I suppose.
I mean,
each category is out of 5. Final score out of 20.
Oh, I left one little sip in there. Okay. Nose. 2.5 out of weirdness. Just to be weird.
I love the nose. I've given it a 3.5.
Whew.
It's decadent.
Decadent. I don't even know what that means.
Well,
it's a dick and something.
It's time for me to introduce you to our new co-host.
This is my Bourbon Podcast, damn it. Don't even. Oh, okay. Palate.
This is decadent.
2.
3.
Oh my God, it's so much broccoli.
I really like the palate.
It's burnt broccoli. How? How does that taste like burnt broccoli? The finish, oh my God. It finishes like I just rollerbladed and took a bump right into the pavement. And
it's got a really long finish, though.
Yeah, too long.
Yeah. I think the finish is actually my favorite part of all this. I'm going to give it a 4.
Oh, God. 1.5. I feel like I'm dying right now.
All right, you don't know the price on this.
No, it's a sample. I don't know.
The lowest I've seen, and I mean, it can get up really, really high, but the lowest I've seen is $165 a bottle.
160. What's the age on this thing?
About 13 years.
Okay.
10 to 13. I'm not entirely sure.
I'm trying to be open-minded because I know Scotch and all this stuff. It's special. It's special to somebody.
The fact that it has this much character for being.
Hey, I won't deny it's got character because I can. That's some crazy notes. I
don't mind the price on it. I'm going to give it a 3.
2.5. I mean, I'm right in the middle of a 5 because it's like I don't know anything about Scotch, how they price it.
That's fair.
It does have a lot of flavor.
Yeah. So I think I have a 13.5 out of 20.
I'm an 8.5. But burnt broccoli and oh, it's so much better. Reese's Pieces is so much better.
The thing is, like, I don't want to drink this a lot, but I think it's really good. But I want to go back to being able to taste bourbon.
How often does somebody drink this?
This is only my second time ever.
But like
I don't know.
Quote, I love Scotch too. Like, is this like a once a month thing?
I have no idea.
Oh, God. You need to reevaluate your life if you're drinking this on a regular basis.
Got any high proof hot takes this week?
Scotch. I had some, but I'm too happy right now to get into them. I'm having too much fun. I'll do my it's okay to ball bust your friends and stuff next week. It's okay.
All right. Well, tips and bits.
Yeah.
I'll talk music real quick.
Whoa.
You want me to go ahead?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tyler Childers has a new album out. It's 3 discs, and it's the same songs on every CD, but with different instrumentation.
Like metal and stuff?
No.
Oh, damn it.
It's still country.
Oh.
But it's really good, man. Also, speaking of country albums, Rhett from Rhett and Link.
Oh, I
knew
that he was one.
This is like watching Gordon Ramsay on Hot Ones.
I'm good.
Anyway, Rhett's got an album out called Human Overboard. It's under the pseudonym James and the Shame.
James and the Shame.
That's his middle name. But it's about his religious deconstruction. And it's really, really good. It's so fun to listen to.
Yeah.
I mean, I've listened to it almost nonstop since it's come out. She-Hulk is still great.
I love it.
It's been phenomenal. I'm really excited for the last couple of episodes.
I think it's so different, and it's just such a breath of fresh air from just the normal stuff that it's just fun. It's just fun every week.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's just fun.
We got Werewolf by Night coming out real soon.
I'm looking forward to that.
Can't wait for that. And the Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power show is about to wrap up.
I heard I haven't watched it, but I heard the last episode was like 10 out of 10.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
Easily the best episode so far. It did have kind of like a Dark Knight Joker wants to get captured by the police kind of vibe to it, but it does it in a way that you don't really see it coming. So take that for what you will.
Yeah.
I suppose. But I think that's all I got.
So it's the season. I mentioned last week that I watched what did I watch? X and Pearl. Mm-hmm. I think you should watch those. Barbarian's a good one to watch. I mentioned that before, but getting into more stuff, if you have time, I want to suggest a movie each week from now until the end of October that we both watch.
I can do that. That way people can listen along too.
Yes. I want to do...
Or watch along and then listen to our thoughts.
And I don't want to do traditional, like, we got to watch Halloween and stuff. I'm just going to think of random ones. And the first one I thought of was Jeepers Creepers.
Okay.
And if you have time, part 2, just if you got time. Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2, if you got a chance. And let's talk about it next week.
Sure.
Other than that, we'll continue spooky season next week. I've been watching Legacy on Hulu. That's the documentary of the LA Lakers.
Yeah.
It's freaking good, especially if you're a sports fan. And if you're not, like, it's just a cool look into like how the LA Lakers were, started and how it went from like it's a family business, and then you get a Kobe section and all this stuff. Great sports documentary.
Nice.
Especially if you liked MJ's documentary Last Dance. Podcast wise, Theo Vaughn's this past weekend, he's had some great guests lately. Love that show. Me and April are going to watch. My uncle sent me a little thing that says, I got you tickets to Theo Vaughn in Lexington. That's
so cool.
So Wednesday night, we will be watching Theo live. Nice. It's awesome. So I also watched Halloween Town on Disney Plus, which is a classic Disney Halloween movie.
Yeah.
So corny, so good. I listened to Mammoth Club podcast, which they are reviewing all the Disney Channel original movies, and they talked about it. It was a fun episode. So yeah, Halloween Town. And your homework is to watch Jeepers Creepers 1. If you have time, watch 2, and we'll talk about it next week.
Can the week after, just because I feel like I need to talk about it because I don't like the first one, do Hocus Pocus 2?
Heck yeah.
Okay. Have you watched it yet?
No. Full disclosure, I tried to watch Rob Zombie's Monsters reboot.
Yeah.
I stopped it, and it was only 35 minutes in. I said, you've got to be kidding me that I have another hour and 10 minutes left in this. Oh, my God. I will finish it. I'll review it.
I can't believe it's that bad, though.
It's not good. It's painful. It's painfully bad. But, yes, we will go over Hocus Pocus 2.
Okay, cool. I think that does it. I think we're done for this week, right?
Oh, God. I cannot believe 250 I'm here. I'm surrounded by snacks and drinks, and
I'm happy you're here, buddy.
Scotch, but
I could go on and on. I'm going to try to save a little bit of the sentimentality for episode, well, whatever the episode is that we celebrate 5 years on.
5 years,
but
dude, something you older than your biological child.
My child. Yeah.
Something you started 5 years. It's crazy.
It's pretty
We'll
insane.
get into it later.
In the meantime, I just want to say thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody who's been a part of this and seen us grow from episode 1 and listen to every episode.
And there are plenty of people.
Yeah.
They'll let you know.
Yeah.
They're die hard.
So just thank you.
Thank you.
That's all I can say. We'll do more sentimental stuff later.
Yeah.
Until then, though, Eric, let the people know where they can support us, follow us, all that good stuff.
Patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast. For as little as $1 a month, you can support the show. And at $5, you get all the extra content. Porch from the Floor. Sampling Irresistible. The secret bonus episodes that people listen.
Forgot to put out the...
That you will eventually listen to.
You will hear it soon.
Yes. But yes, patreon.com. Support us. We couldn't do this without you. It means the world to us. You can send us messages and get secret samples sent to you. All that fun stuff. If you want to ask us to review something, send us a sample, send us a bottle, whatever. Send an email to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. If you want to get some merch, you can go to thisismybourbonshop@threadless.com. Hold on. I'll do that again.
Bourbonshop.threadless.
Bourbonshop.threadless.com.
Yeah, you're good.
And Whiskey Mutant at Shopify.com. If you want to leave a Barrel Rings, which is a segment where you leave a voicemail and we play it and then we reply to you. 859-428-8253. On all social media, you can follow us at My Bourbon Pod. You can follow me at Whiskey Mutant. There is actually a Whiskey Mutant fan page on Instagram. If you want to follow it, you can go to at My Daily Bourbon on Instagram. And you can get a lot of Whiskey Mutant stuff there. So check that out. If you want to go to YouTube, This Is My Bourbon Podcast on YouTube. Perry goes live every Thursday night at 8. I try to join in when I can. We just had an episode 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago now where I got to jump on. I crashed the show. It's a good episode. As far as, let's see. I was going to say something. No, leave a review. 5 stars, 1 star, whatever you want to. We'll read it. We don't care. And then just tell everybody about us. But I was going to say, I got a message from a longtime supporter of the show that he increased his Patreon. And he said I didn't tell him about the time that he told me that he increased his Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
Tony Bag of Donuts.
Yeah.
It came up the other day. I think it was in that time where we had like a bunch of new members and stuff like that.
I think so too.
But Tony was in town and he texted me and he was like, "Hey, I'm at North Lime Donuts." And I was like, "Tony Bag of Donuts, is that a donut shop?" That's crazy. So it was during the time where my kids were in school, my wife was at work, and I'm just sitting at home. I said, "I'll meet you down there for some donuts." And we got down there, and I thought it'd be nice and buy me and Tony the whole board of donuts. And when I got to check out, I didn't have enough money to pay for it all. So me and Tony ended up making maple bacon donuts for North Lime Donuts.
Nice.
And he worked the cash register. I was in the back. I was doing what I could. Tony was cussing a lot because of what happened, but he said, "You know what? To make sure that everything gets taken care of, I'll increase my Patreon pledge." And so he did. And so, yeah, we made sweat together. You can take that how you want to.
And then love.
And then we hugged afterwards. And then we said, "You know what? If this happens again, and you're in town, we may see each other again in the back of a donut shop. So, yeah, thank you, Tony. But yeah, that's it. We made sweat. $2.50.
Hey. Oh, all right. Well, I think we need to get out of here right now. Right now. We need to get out of here. Thank you all so much for listening, watching, however you enjoy the show. Eric's going to shoot a little bit of scotch here, I think. Okay. We'll see you next week for episode 251, where I'm assuming we're just kind of doing our normal thing.
We probably just need to go.
I
can't do this anymore.
We need to do a normal episode for sure.
I can't drink tar.
Yeah. Well, we'll see you then. Until next time, I love you. Thank you for being here. I'm Perry.
I'm Eric.
And this is my Bourbon Podcast.